We are back here on the Lynne Hayes-Freeland Show. You would be amazed at the things I learned trolling your Facebook pages. Yep, I'm doing that, trolling them. And it just so happened I was looking at Christina Springer's Facebook page, and I learned about something called Jazz on the Loading Dock. So I said, what's Jazz on the Loading Dock? She responded, and boom, now we're talking about it. Here to explain to all of us what Jazz on the Loading Dock is, through individuals, through perspectives. Christina Springer is a board member of the Afro-American Music Institute, as well as a parent of a student at the Institute. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, anytime I'm on a program anywhere around town, I know that I'm in the right place when I look over and I see Dr. James Johnson and Pamela Johnson, the co-founders of the Institute. Welcome.
Thank you.
This time I have you on my turf, though. It's a little different. Yeah.
No, I've been here before.
Okay.
I've forgotten.
Oh, you absolutely. You've been here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Christine, I'm going to start with you since I was on your Facebook page.
Absolutely.
You're talking about this Jazz on the Loading Dock. What's it all about?
Jazz on the Loading Dock is one of the ways Afro-American Music Institute enacts its mission. And we are, AAMI, is your home for music. And we offer classes, concerts, and community. Every year, for 35 years, we've been in Homewood doing this wonderful thing of celebrating the Afro-American contribution to the world with a special focus on how we have used music to enliven life for all people.
For all people.
For all people.
35 years, Dr. Johnson, when we talk about 35 years, you know, it's amazing to me. And I don't know if I've ever said this to you or not, but I had a great aunt who took piano lessons at the Institute. Probably, if you've been there 35 years, this would be 32 years ago. And she was in her 90s then.
Wow. What was her name?
Estelle Blanks.
Okay, we've trained thousands of students from all races, all backgrounds, all ages. And it's an open place where everybody can come and learn music. Everybody, you hang your hat at the door, whatever terms what you do. And we're all one big family when you come through those doors. And it's a lot of fun learning from our faculty and our staff. I will put my staff up against anybody around the globe because, you know, I'm a world travel musician.
I know,
so I know what I'm talking. But we want to make it fun. Music is therapy. Music heals. Just about 3 or 4 days ago, my wife sang at one of the veteran centers. A guy in a wheelchair got up and started dancing. He was in a wheelchair.
Wow.
And it scared all of us because he also had a cane. He dropped. So that's the power of music. So you just want to, you know, doctors send their patients to learn music. Churches send people to learn, you know, how to do church services. Come to learn jazz. So it's come one, come all for everything.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
Pamela, when you guys opened 35 years ago, did you see this down the road? Did you see all of this?
I'm going to say yes, Lynn, because starting the music school was a very important mission for my husband and I to do. So when I feel like when you start something, you want to see it finished and never end, if you can see that happening. And I have to say, I did see it, you know. 35 years later, we're still here. We're still here doing it, you know.
I have to say that that is the magic of working with the Johnsons, is they have had consistently for a 35-year period a clear and constant vision of what they wanted to bring to the community and where they wanted to bring it, where they wanted to place themselves. The fact that they now, after being in a church basement, own a wonderful, or AAMI owns a wonderful property in the heart of Homewood, serving not just the Homewood community, but all of Pittsburgh. So it brings people from all over Pittsburgh into Homewood to have a positive musical experience. And we also we have some students from Homewood, and we bring people out of Homewood into all of Pittsburgh to have a positive experience. And she's known, she has wanted, they've both known that they have wanted to do this for 35 years. And they've done it consistently for that amount of time.
Absolutely. So James, talk to me a little bit. If you had to, I mean, when I think about the African American Music Institute, three things come to my mind: the classes, the lessons, and the number of people that I know who have learned music through the Institute. I think of the boys choir, and I think of jazz music.
Jazz speaks of life. It speaks of the culture of our people. About every 10 years, a new style of jazz was introduced into the black community. And you know, we've survived on this music even before it was called jazz, since slavery. So it has brought us through a lot of trials and tribulations, not to mention what's going on in today's society. A lot of us still have to turn to jazz, you know, for self-expression and to manifest our feelings on to our public. You mentioned the boys choir, the love of my life outside of my wife, working with these young African-American males. I mean, we have young men coming from all kinds of backgrounds, some coming from single-parent households, some coming that have been raised by grandparents. I've had crack babies in the past, some off the street. I mean, just a number that we all come together as one big family. And you know, every Monday night we rehearse at 7 o'clock. And sometimes I've had a hard time getting them out of the building because we're supposed to be closing at 8 o'clock.
And they don't
but I try, if I'm not pressed for time, I'll just let them hang and talk, and they share ideas, they share problems, notes on music. A whole lot goes on with that.
And you know, it's more than that. It is, I think, the best kept secret about the boys choir. It is the best black male leadership program in the nation. And Dr. J does it by creating a brotherhood united in music.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
And I look at it, I look at my son in that choir, and I see him connecting, and the only thing all of these kids have in common is the willingness to show up and make music.
Wow.
That's powerful.
Now, do these kids, and I don't want to get off track because we still got to talk about jazz at the Loading Dock and the Gumbo Fest.
Right.
So in fact, let's circle back to that right now.
Right.
So when's the next Jazz at the Loading Dock, and tell me about this Gumbo Fest.
Well, the Jazz at the Loading Dock is something that my husband and I have been talking about doing, and it's featuring him and I. You know, we have so much in us when it comes to entertaining people. So we said it's time to do it. It's 2018. As busy as we are, we're going for it this year. We're going to have Jazz at the Loading Dock featuring Dr. J and Pamela. So we got started this past in February, and we'll be doing it every first Saturday of each month throughout the year.
Every first Saturday. And what time is that?
It's at 7 o'clock. It's early hours to 9:30.
And the next one is March 3rd.
Okay.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
The thing about AAMI is that they have working artists for teachers.
Yes.
So you're not sitting in a classroom with somebody who is not out there actively engaged.
Who hasn't done it for 20 years.
In the profession, in all the nuances, teaching the children, adults, seniors. We teach everybody.
It's beautiful.
But what is most important about Jazz at the Loading Dock is it really gives an opportunity to see in action the founders of this organization show how well they do how well they do everything. And it's not just jazz. You do there was some blues last night.
Well, we're going to hear from them in just a minute.
And it gives me the opportunity to say that another 5 years, my wife and I would have been registered for 50 years.
I was just getting ready to say, wasn't there somebody recently did like a love story about you two?
Yeah, WQED.
One of those other channels. Okay, we're just going to
I won't go no further than that. But when you see my wife and I in action, and by the way, we have a rhythm section, a full rhythm section. Right now we have Dan Watson on bass and Dr. Ken Foley on drums.
Okay.
Accompanying us. But, you know, we're like a number of couples. We crack on each other.
Yeah.
And we've been doing we've been doing it for some years now. So that comes out and come out in these shows. And not only Jazz at the Loading Dock, anywhere we perform, sometimes that happens.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a commercial break. You guys are going to go over there, get ready to perform, and you're going to tell me about the Gumbo Fest.
I love it.
We'll be right back. Don't go away when Lynne Hayes-Freeland.